When you're making a good build, first thing, your race doesn't matter, but the best normally is either Felinor for the increased jump height, Vesperian for the increased defense, or Capra for increased healing at campfires. And those are the main races that you're going to want if you have those. But some other good ones are going to be Canor, Con. Con is really good with certain builds because of the passive. Some of the most meta oaths right now are going to be Chain Warden, Salt Chemist for ganks, Contractor is good with the buffs that they did a while ago. Jet Striker is top right now. Arc Warder is also really good, and Oathless is good if you just want health. For outfits, the only ones you're really going to want to be going are Ignition Deep Delver and Prophet's Cloak. If you're going to be boss rating, Authority Commander is really good too. And if you're going to go Katana, Royal Electric Guard. The best bells are going to be, unless your build is around a specific bell, you're just going to want to go Blood Surge default. Gravity Field's also next up. Wind Up as well, because you can one-shot grip. The first thing you're going to want to know if you're trying to make a good build when you're looking at the stats is what weapon type you're going. If you're going heavy weapon, you're going to want to go high strength pre-shrine, like 40. If you're going medium, 40 is good, but if you can't make 40, 25 will do. Light weapon, you just go 25. The third main thing you're going to want to know is if you're going to go mage, or you're going to be an M1, or you're going to be sort of a hybrid. If you're going mage, you're always going to want to go Prophet's Cloak, and you want to go low strength. But if you're going weapon, it'd be better to go Ignition Deep Delver or Black Diver, and then you're going to want to go a good amount of strength. When you're looking at your pre-shrine stats, you never want to go 90 fortitude. Most of the time, going 90 strength or intelligence isn't the best you can do because of the talents where every 10 points in that gives you pen. You'll be losing out on pen compared to if you just went at post-shrine. Some good things to go pre-shrine are going to be willpower, charisma, and low strength, like 40 strength. It's also good. Agility, you can go at pre or post-shrine. If you're going a more like gank build, you're going to want to go 65 and get air counter and tap dancer and all that. But if you're just going chime, 25 is normally good. Next up is choosing what attunement. Your attunement and weapon should complement each other if you want to make the best out of your build. For your traits, you're always going to want to go 6, 3, 3, 6, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2, or if you're going PvE, you just go 6, 6. And then if you want to go glass cannon, you think you can survive less HP, you just go 3, 3. You go all of the damage. Next up, we're going to be talking about talents that are essential to your build, and then there's also a few talents that are really good that you should get if you can, but if you don't get them, it's not going to be the end of the world. First up, we're going to get Condition Runner. This is very good. Its requirements are 25 fortitude and 25 agility, and it makes it so when you're sprinting and you're below 75% HP, you're going to regenerate health, and it's very good for ganks and just to get HP over time. Next up, we're going to get Exoskeleton for 10% physical damage and 5 HP, and To the Finish. To the Finish is a really good talent just for HP, because whenever you're at below 30% HP, you start taking less damage, and it's 5 HP. To the Finish is 50 fortitude, while Exoskeleton is 40. Next up are going to be 2 willpower talents. You're going to want Disbelief. It makes Charm last half as long, and you're going to want Breathing Exercise. Breathing Exercise is just 5 HP, so it's just always good to have. Next up is going to be Old Habits Die Hard. It's going to give you the 5 HP, and if you block an attack when you fail a parry, it won't do as much posture damage, so that's just overall good for your build. Anxious Guard is also good because it gives them shaky block whenever you hit them on their block. Spine Cutter is one that it's not the end of the world if you don't have it, but it's very, very, very good. Because it's just free damage whenever you block break. If you block break, it's just free damage if you roll cancel around them and hit their back. Fishman is also really good for the 5 HP, and then along with Fishman, you're also going to want to pick up Blood Iron Spirit and Scuba Drowner. They all give 5 HP, and they're all just overall good for your build. Next up is Speed Demon. It adds bleed to your weapon if it does not already have bleed, so it's very good, just free damage. Next up, we're going to have Pocket Bombs. All you have to do is go do a Mind Skipper quest in the Song Seeker, and this is just free 5 HP. Every build should get it. Tough Love, whenever you hit people with mantras, they're going to do less damage to you, and you're going to be doing more damage to them by about 10% with M1s, 5% with mantras. Turtle Shell and Knight's Rally are also really good, because Turtle Shell makes you can't be spine cuttered, and whenever people assassinate you, they do less damage. And all you need really is 54-2, which you're already going for to the finish, and just to be able to equip a shield. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make a good build. So we're going to go Oath Jet Striker because of its mobility and its jet kick being very powerful. We're going to go Felinor for climb height. We're going to go Prophet's Cloak for mantra damage. We're first going to start out, you always want to go 1 of your attunement so you can save the most points. We're going to go 1 strength, 1 fortitude. We're going to go 65 agility for air counter and tap dancer and cheap shot. We're going to go 1 intelligence, 40 willpower for exhaustion strike, disbelief, breathing exercise, and old habits die hard. We're going to go 25 charisma for tough love and charismatic cast. We're going to shrine of order. We're going to go 90 intelligence so we can get the mantra penetration card. We're going to go 80 shadow so we can get level 5 mantras. We're going to go 50 fortitude for to the finish and the shield talents. We're going to go 25 charisma so so we can have posture with Unwavering Resolve, and we'll also be able to get Spine Cutter. We're going to go 50 agility so we can get Jet Striker, and we have 5 points left over, so we're able to put that into anything we want. I'm going to put it into Willpower so we can get level 2 Dodge and Strike. Then for our traits, we're going to want to go 6-3-3 so we can still have lots of tempo and ether while also having mantra damage. Next up, for the talents, we're first going to want to look at our list of essential talents, and we're going to want to choose as many as we can. So we're going to start with, we're going to get Condition Runner. We're going to get Exo Skeleton to the finish. We're just going to go down our list. Disbelief. Old Habits Die Hard. Breathing Exercise. Anxious Guard. We're gonna get Spine Cutter. We're gonna grab Fishman, Blood Iron Spirit, and Scuba Drowner. We're gonna want to get Speed Demon just for our M1s. Even though we're a Hero Blade, we still want our M1s to be able to do a little bit of damage. We're going to want to get Pocket Bombs for the 5 HP. We're going to want to get Tough Love for being more tanky and charismatic cast. We're going to get Turtle Shell, so it's harder for assassination builds to do all their health, and also Spine Cutter can't be used against us. Now we're going to go down and pick our build-specific talents. We're going to want to get Neural Overload for more mantra copies on each thing. We're going to want to go Ghost. We're going to want to go Ether Overdrive, Will-O-Wisp. You're going to want to always get every advanced talent unless it's not a good advanced talent like Phoenix Flames, or if you aren't going a Wisp. You don't want to go Will-O-Wisp if you aren't going to Wisp. Down here, for rares, you're going to want to have around 18 to 20 rares at max, but having up to like 22 is fine. So we're a mage build. We're not going to go Overflowing Dam because we don't need M1 damage. We're going to go Perfect Flash. We aren't going Salt Chemist, so we're not going to get any potion stuff. We're not going to get Carnivore because we can just eat food. Champion's Regalia is good for flourishing. So we're going to get Reinforced later on. We're going to get Grand Support and Lord's Tither. So whenever we press F when we do it, we can steal their ether and heal. We already have Ghost, so we don't need to get Dark Rift. We're going to get Tap Dancer for a lower cooldown on our double rolls. We're going to get Eureka for ether. Neuroplasticity so we can get extra mantra. Thresher Claws just gives you extra pen. You're going to want to get Warrior's Respite. Lightspeed Reflexes for fainting is very good. You're always going to want to get Bulldozer if you don't get Dazing Finisher. Cheap Shot is just extra pen. Air Counter, that's mostly all of the ones that we're going to get. Whenever you're choosing your rares, if it looks like it gives you a buff, doesn't have a downside, then it's probably good to get. And you're always Kickoff is another very good talent. It always Purging Singularity because for the penetration. You want to get Master Craftsman. Anything that gives 5 to 10 HP you're going to want to grab. And also anything that just gives you plus posture. Harsh Response is very good. Then for mantra specific talents, you're always going to want to get, if you read a talent, stuff like mantra deal more damage at night, that's very situational, but we're going to get it because of its second part, where in realms where the sun doesn't reach, which includes the depths, which means we're going to be doing more damage. Something like Blinded Song, you don't want to grab stuff like this that's specific to a mantra unless you're going that mantra. And if you are going that mantra, you want to read the talent, because this makes it so when you attach your shadow chains to an enemy, you both can't use mantras, and since we're a mage build, we don't want that. Stuff like Dark Synergy, where it's just a straight good only, you're going to want to get stuff like that. But stuff like Cutthroat talents, unless you're going specifically for assassination, these aren't very good because you're not going to be getting as much use out of them. We're going to want to go Shadow Overflow. This gives you posture. It also, Duelist Stance is also very good because of pairing an opponent posture back. You're always going to want to take talents that help with your posture, because posture management is a very important part of the game. You're going to want to go Steady Nerve for the posture dodge. You're going to go Ether Conduit. You're always going to want to get these. Uproar is very good, and so is Last Resort. We don't want to get too many talents. 56 to 60 talents is all you're really going to have on your build, so you don't really want to get much more. You always get Unbounded your attunement and Master for the attunement for the HP. We're going to get Lasting Sorrow for so your shadow lasts long. We're going to get Sightless Still. That's all we really need on the build. We're going to grab all your Oath talents. This gives health. You always want to have Pressure Scales for the HP, and then these two talents give you posture. And for your mantras, you can go what you want, but a good rule of thumb is don't want to go more than like 2 oaths. You want to save points, but certain oath mantras aren't very good. And no oath has only good mantra. There's always going to be a mantra that isn't that good. And then for monster mantras, stuff like Coral Spear is good on no attunement builds, and Dread Breath is good if you're going attunement, if you want to just hit people. And then Mecha Gatling is good for specific combos. Most of the time they aren't that good. Forcer Pull though is decent in gang. We're going to want to get Reinforced for Lord's Tithe and Grand Support like that I said earlier. We're going to get Exhaustion Strike because it's just a quick mantra that goes out really quick. Shadow Soul is very good. We're going to grab that because of its mobility, and also it has a spark that when you hit people with it when you're low, it does a lot of damage. We're going to grab You always want at least one block break on your build. We grab Shadow Gun for the block break. Clutching Shadow right now is very good because it's very easy to land because how weird it is to parry. We're going to grab that. Shadow Eruption is one of the best monsters in the game, so we're going to grab that. Rising Shadow is also very good. We're going to grab that. And then we can sort of go and really want here. We could go Shadow Roar. Shadow Meteors is good. Shadebringer is also good. Eclipse Kick, Shadow Vortex. I'm just going to go Shadow Meteors because how easy it is to land. We're also just going to grab our Wisp, and we're going to check if we have too many talents. We have just enough talents, so that's perfect. We're going to select our weapon, Hero Blade of Shadow, and we're going to be doing, it'll tell you how much M1 damage you're doing. Here's your modifiers. Select what modifiers, depending on what you think is going to be active more often. And that's how you make a good build.